Guys, get your pen and paper, be ready to receive. Don't worry about the how, right? Don't worry about the, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. Write on the piece of paper what you're grateful for, get present, and I promise you're going to get the answer. So Craig, take it away, brother.
Awesome. Thanks. Thanks, Aaron. Thanks, Wayne. Guys, I want to start off by I know a lot of you don't know me, probably haven't heard of me, but I want to talk to you a little bit about, my story, how I got into the business, the objections that I had to overcome, because trust me, when you hear my story, you're going to be like, dang, if Craig can do this, anybody can do this. Okay. So I got recruited in this business in September of 2008. So actually in 2 weeks, it'll be our 15th year in the business. And a buddy of mine that I played baseball with, Cole Proffer, some of you may know Cole. He called me up. He's like, hey, now Cole just started. He was brand new in the business. And he called me up and he's like, hey, I started with this company. He was a sixth grade science teacher, and I want to come over with my trainer and show you what I'm doing. And I said, no, 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 I don't want no part of that. Okay. A week later, he calls me again. He's like, man, I just need your help getting through the training. No obligation. I just need your help. And I said, Cole, I'll make you a deal. I'll let you and your trainer come over. I'll listen to your little spiel, but I ain't buying nothing. Okay. So what's funny is on that Sunday afternoon, Cole and his trainer come knocking on the door, and my wife Lisa, and you guys may have had KTs like this. She's like, "Hey, Cole and some guys at the door," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, about that." So guys, we were just we were a 5-pointer qualified appointment. I was Cole's very first appointment. I was Cole's very first recruit, and I became Cole's replacement leg. Okay. Now the odds of that are probably very, very slim. Somebody's getting an RVP or the replacement leg coming out of their very first appointment. But we didn't have any intentions on buying anything. In fact, I said I'm not buying anything. Well, one thing I did have was a little bit of common sense. Okay. They did the F&A on us. Here, call this number, see if you can save money on your auto and home. We save $1,600 a year on our auto, $300 a year on our home. You could look at that two ways and say, hey, good job, you guys saved $1,900. Or you can look at another way and say, what a bunch of idiots for paying that much for car and homeowners insurance. But they showed us, they helped us in every area. We refinanced our house with the smart loan back then. I had North Worcester Mutual for insurance. They gave us 4 times the coverage for the same price. Everything just mathematically made sense. So I switched. And then they said, you want to come work with us? And I'm like, huh, are you kidding me? You just proved to me I didn't know how to manage my own finances, and you want me to teach others? No way. And I was making $80,000 a year managing Quick Trip gas stations. Okay. That's what I did prior to this, is I managed gas stations for 24 years. Never been to college a day in my life. And but the one thing they said to me that really hit home, well, Cole's trainer, he said, Craig, let's say you come work here and you just absolutely fall on your face and fail. You're uncoachable, you don't listen, you try doing things Craig's way versus Primerica's way, and you fall on your face and fail. Aren't you in the same position you're in right now?
Wow.
That's right there, that's a good recruiting line I use all the time on people. What do you have to lose? If you fail, you're in the same position you're in right now. You have no choice but to succeed here. I actually know a guy that came to Primerica, and here's what he said, Wayne. He said, I'm I don't want to help any families. He paid us $124. He said, I don't want to help any families. I don't want to make any money. And they were like, well, okay, why are you here? He goes, because I've heard all about your company and what you guys educate on, and where else can I get a financial education, and my tuition's only $124.
Wow.
The guy ended up quitting his engineering job because he fell in love with the concepts. He basically just wanted to come to learn about what we do, fell in love with the concepts, quit his engineering job, and became an RVP with Primerica. So
Wow. That's
$124,
huge.
$124 tuition. Use that. Okay. But you know, I'd like to talk about my first appointment. Obviously, you want to build your list. You want to, sit down with people you have the most credibility with. I remember this. I mean, this was almost 15 years ago, and I remember it like it was yesterday. They said, who will help you out?" I'm like, "Well, of course, my mom." So my trainer Milo and myself, we go to my mom's house. I remember I had to clean off the kitchen table because it was a mess. I remember the kitchen table like it was yesterday. And guys, it was it was probably the worst KT I ever had. She literally laughed out loud, laughed in my face. "Ha ha ha, Craig. This is a joke. Call me when you make your first million. You need to focus on the gas stations." And guys, it was just I was devastated. I was absolutely devastated. But the one thing I learned from that, and my mom doesn't really realize that, is she helped me out more than anybody, because every time another obstacle ran across me, I was like, "Man, shoot, if I quit now, then I got to tell my mom she's right." And what kid wants to tell their parent they're right? No kid, right? So, so I just I use basically anytime somebody told me no was adding fuel to my fire, and I just kept plugging away, plugging away, plugging away. I felt like the Chris Coob, going on 50 plus appointments before getting your first sale. But I just knew that if you, nobody's ever failed in Primerica. They just quit too soon. And guys, I did not start this business off on fire. Okay. By the way, a few years later, we started winning company trips and this and that. It was only like 2 or 3 years later. We're at Christmas. My mom comes up, gives me a big hug. "I'm so proud of you and Lisa. I knew you'd succeed in Primerica. You're doing so great." I said, "Mom, you're the one that laughed in my face and said, 'Call me when you make your first million.'" "Oh, no." She still denies that to this day, but trust me, she said it. I remember it like it was yesterday. Another thing is when
Craig,
they
you're a stud. You're a stud. I'm telling you, if it wasn't for you, there's so many people in our lives that wouldn't be impacted. So I just want to drop that there. You're a stud. Keep going.
Also, when they recruited us and they explained to us it's $124, I looked across the kitchen table from Lisa, or looked next to her. I said, "What do you think, babe? $124?" And she's like, "I don't know. That's a lot of money." I'm like, "That's a lot of money. That's our bar bill at the bowling alley on Saturday nights. Come on." So not only did I come aboard, but she came aboard. My solution number is PLNY5. Hers is PLNY6. So we both came aboard, and guys, two minds, two heads in the same direction. You're absolutely unstoppable, and we have the most unbelievable partnership. We did the star, the color personality things. We're we're like Wayne and Wayne's assistant that he hired. We're like the complete opposite, my wife and I. When it comes to the star, I'm like, "Well, if Wayne and his assistant can do this, we can do this." Okay. So but guys, I didn't start off on fire. It took me 6 months to get my senior rep promotion. It took me 2 years to get my district promotion. I got teammates on here right now that got their district promotion in their first 30 to 60 days. I was a division leader for 4 years, still working at the gas stations. I was a regional leader for 3 years. I did this business part-time while I still managed the gas stations for 9 years. I've only been full-time for, I guess, 6 years now. Yeah, I quit the gas stations in August of 2017. But during those 9 years, it paid me $230,000. So, there's something to be said there. If you do the math, it's about $2,100 a month. And I could look at people on this call and Amanda, I don't know nothing about you. You're in the center of my screen, but I would be willing to if you made an extra $2,000 a month, that probably pay for your house payment, maybe even your car payment. Okay. So teach people, figure out, hey, if you made an extra $2,000, what would you do with that? And then, I had other obstacles. Okay. Testing is not my forte. Okay. Um, Guys, I passed my and some of my teammates haven't heard this, and I see Carol Wiley on here. Caroline, and she's a freaking studette, and she's gonna be blown away to hear this. A lot of people, they pass their test on their first try. I passed my life test on my second try. I passed my Series 6 on my sixth try. I passed my 63 on my fifth try. I passed my 26 on my fourth try. It took me 17 freaking tests to pass 4. Okay. But another thing is I didn't even get my securities license till my 6th year in the business. Aaron, you know why I didn't get my securities license until my 6th year?
You were just practicing some tests.
I was hoping you give me some answers because I don't know why. Okay. We didn't even talk about securities my first few years. It was stupid, absolutely insane that we waited 6 years to get our license. But I do say that sooner or later, you're going to get 7 out of 10 questions right. Okay. And we always had this thing in our office that we've had these people pass their securities tests on their very first try, and they're lucky if they do $100 pack a month. But then myself, I took several tests. Cole took several tests, and we're doing $100,000 to $200,000 a month in securities every single month. So we have this thing that you don't want to pass on your first try because you're probably not going to write any securities. So this is a shout out to Ethan Heckert, freaking passing every test known to man in like 2.5 months.
You're calling me out, Craig.
There you go.
Dude, I'm so freaking proud of you, but the pressure is on you now to prove us wrong that you can pass on your first try and actually write securities. So you got to prove all of us wrong. So no, Ethan, we're so freaking proud of you, dude. And I love at first when Aaron sent that other picture of the forehead, I'm looking at it, I'm like, what is that? I'm like, oh, I get it. And I mean, like, that's so freaking huge. But guys, that's we went RVP in January 2019, just a year and a half after we quit the gas station. And then about a year later, we got the ring. And it's just not it's not a matter of how many times you fall down. It's just a matter of how many times you get up. So that's kind of my story and where we're at. And we're just I will say this. I watched the movie twice, and the or documentary, whatever you call it, the Secret. Okay. And I'm actually listening to the Audible now. And guys, if you haven't watched The Secret or listened to it, oh my gosh, it's all about the law of attraction, and anything that happens to you, it's because you basically spoke it into existence. If you're thinking about debt, you're going to have more of debt. If you're thinking about how great your business is, you're going to have more greatness in your business. The Secret is a complete game changer, and it's all about your thinking. So what I want to do now is I want to run through a PowerPoint that I created. It's all about recruiting. I am very good at recruiting. I've actually slowed down on my recruiting a little bit lately because I'm focused on training some of these people that I'm actually recruiting versus just running through recruits. But I want to spend quality time and train them like I have a few of them on the call here. So let me get this up here. And I can email this out to anybody if anybody wants it. So these are just some recruiting tips. The 3 P's of recruiting is positive. You got to have a positive attitude, understand the numbers. And I know these are kind of company numbers. Our numbers are actually a lot better than this. But if you book 16 appointments, only 8 of them are going to stick. Okay. Out of 8 appointments, you might do 5 F&As or maybe even 5 $B smarts. You're going to do 3 life sales out of that, and you're going to get 1 recruit. So you just have to stay positive, understand the numbers. Everyone will not make it in this business. Okay. You got to understand that. Most will not make it. Most people can't handle rejection, and they don't self-improve on their mindset. 95% of this business is your mindset. It's just like owning a gym at the beginning of the year. January and February, the gym is packed. Everybody has their goals, but then they're not disciplined. They don't have the mindset of keep going. And then you get in there in March and the place is a ghost town. Okay. Prejudge. You cannot prejudge people. You never know who will be the next good recruit. The person you least expect will be probably the person that's interested. The people that you think are doing fine and okay, they probably need you the most. Okay. There weren't a couple punk kids named Mario Arizona and Shane Rudman. Look where they're at now. Shane started the business, I think, at age 22, been paid over $50 million a year, and he's making about $1.2 to $1.4 million a year. Mario, with all of his different codes combined, I think he's making he started at age 19. I'm not even sure if he's 40 yet. I think he's like 38 or 39. And
he makes $500,000 a month.
Yeah, he's making $5 to $6 million a year now. Because he just, you don't want to prejudge anybody. Look at Tim Stiles. Okay, he makes $250,000 a year because he recruited one punk kid. Just getting an IBA it's a process. Okay. You got to meet with that recruit within the first 24 hours. You got to bulletproof them. You got to create a top 25 list. You got to schedule appointments ASAP. If you don't have them out in the field in your first 24 to 48, in their first 24 to 48 hours, the odds of them succeeding in this business are dropping drastically. A recruit is not a recruit until they get a recruit. Okay. Understand that. You have to have a big belief. Your belief is the most important part of recruiting. You have to believe in the company. You have to believe in the products and services that we offer. Guys, how can you possibly go out and sell Primerica life insurance if you don't have it yourself? How can you promote investments if you don't have it yourself? How can you promote Vivint if you don't have it yourself? Okay. If you don't work for Ford and drive a Chevrolet. Okay. If you want to be successful in the business, you have to have pride in the company, the products and service, but most importantly, you got to believe in yourself. Okay. And that's probably most people's doubt, is they just don't believe in themselves. Okay. Sometimes you got to pour belief into them. It's all about asking questions though. Can you take off without permission? These are some kind of recruiting questions, and we're talking about somebody that has a job. By the way, and this made me think of this, recruiting an unemployed person is probably not a good recruit. Okay. If they don't, first of all, they probably don't even have the $124 to come aboard. Okay. Recruiting a 30-year-old or 40-year-old that has to wait 2 weeks or a month to get $124 is probably not going to be a good recruit. Okay. Now it could be, you never know, but in reality, what kind of credibility do they have with others if they don't have $100 saved? Mm-hmm. Would you rather build your boss wealth or build your self wealth? When you quit your job, does it still pay you? Do you go on 5-star vacations? What is stopping you from vacationing? Just let them talk. Ask questions.
That's good.
These people sound like people who are.
Do you get paid to train others?
Well, and that's.
Do you get paid bonuses? Do you get paid bonuses? Do you get overrides when others do their job? Do you know anyone that pays for insurance, has debt, or would like to retire someday. Guys, of course they know somebody. That's why they need to come aboard. Have you guys ever tried pushing a rope? Don't work too well, does it? Okay. When you ask questions, you pull people in. That's like pulling the rope. When you tell people things, you're pushing them away. It's all about asking questions. Your job is to find out what they want, okay? Find out what their hot button is. Find out what really gets them ticking. Do they like vacations? Do they hate their schedule at their job? Guys, when I worked at the gas stations, I worked Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., off every holiday, off every weekend, making $82,000 to $85,000 a year. Most people would die for that type of schedule and pay. I gave that up to do this. Do they hate their boss? Do they want to override or be overridden? What would they do with an extra $1,000? And a second chance for being an all-star. Guys, I played baseball and hockey when I was growing up. I was really competitive in the hockey. And I thought there was a chance there where I thought, I could if I tried a little harder, I could probably make it to the NHL. But I'm a towering 5'5". Okay, it ain't gonna work. All right. Half of our company is Hispanic. All right, so they're all my height. All right. We have a second chance here. Master the art of being a friendship maker, smiling, presenting, having eye contact, being excited. That's why I love so much about Erin Hecker. When have you seen her not excited? Being entertaining, being someone special, something special. Their life. Ask them, hey, paint a picture of how they see their life in the next 5 to 10 years. And then paint another picture of how you can change that. Ask them about a new home. Hey, if you bought a new home, tell me about it. Get in detail. Does your job revolve around your life, or does your life revolve around your job? I know the Olsen family, their job definitely revolves around their life.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Same with Bob McConnell. Retiring. Would you like to retire 10 to 15 years before your friends? You got a chance here. Taking their family on vacations. Tithe. Would you like to give more?
Yep. Amen.
And then you gotta have your story, have your red wagon. If you don't know, you need to find the old Shane Rudman CD or maybe it's on SoundCloud of your little red wagon. Okay, so if you don't know what a red wagon story is, get with your leader. They'll explain to you exactly what that is. Speak from your heart. Be enthusiastic. You got to be excited. Remember, they don't recruit into Primerica. They recruit into you. Okay. Guys, I've been doing some interviews, and I got my interview script, and then I'll even do sometimes I'll hop on Zoom and I'll show them $B Smart or this or that, and then we're getting ready to do their IBA, and that's when I said, oh, by the way, the company that pays us our paychecks and we promote their products, it's called Primerica, and this is at the time of the IBA. Okay.
Right.
No recruit thinks they can do this business, but they all think someone on their list can do this business.
That's right. Yep.
Wow, that's good.
And then, okay, I need somebody to play along with me here. All right, Erin.
Yep, you got it.
You're. By the way, we don't reinvent anything in Primerica. We just find somebody else that did it and we steal the hubcap. Okay. But I will take credit on this. This is something that I created, laying in bed one night thinking of it. It's just to get you to visualize yourself around things. Erin, you're the owner of McDonald's. Okay.
Okay,
You bought the building and the lot, you pay for food. What else do you have to pay for to stay in business?
my employees,
Your employees. So here's all your happy employees. Okay. Would you agree that if you're the owner of McDonald's, you got all these employees working for you, when they do their job, you make a profit?
yes,
Okay. So you're the owner of McDonald's, you got all these employees working for you. When they do their job, you make a profit.
yes.
But what do these employees want on Friday? Besides a day off?
They want to get paid.
They want a paycheck. See, when McDonald's was growing up, he decided to get in the burger and fry business. But he also gave the same ideas to his cousin, Hardee's. Hardy says, McDonald's, thank you so much for teaching me this business. I'm now a multi-millionaire myself. I feel that I should pay you back or pay it forward. So for now on, every single Friday, I'm going to pay your employees for you. Aaron, if you were the owner of McDonald's and you did not have to pay for your employees, would you ever go out of business?
No.
There's no chance. You got free labor. There's no chance of going out of business. Aaron, this is you right here. You have one job. Your job is to build a list and get me in front of people. You get me in front of people, I'm going to build a team of people for you. When your team of people when they work, you're going to make a profit. And guess what, Aaron? You don't even have to pay them. Primerica pays your employees for you. How can your Primerica
Greg,
business
that's awesome.
go out
Yeah.
of business? You can't just tell people this. You gotta show them a visual. Okay. But how can your business go out of business? It can't.
Good
Caroline-
grief, you know how many people feel like, I don't know if I can do this, and you just blew everybody's minds.
You got free labor. We want to Caroline Wiley, we want to build you the biggest team possible. Every time they do business, you get paid and you don't even have to pay them. That's my McDonald's story.
These are Craig's gold bars.
Guys, there's some other things I use that and I'm not saying these are recruiting points, but it could help. You could talk about tax deductions. We're allowed 475 tax deductions. Okay. But this book is on Amazon, by the way. I got this book. I got it right here. Okay.
Mike hands it out at Halloween for people.
You can write off 10% of your house payment for working here, 10% of your utilities, your phone bill, your internet. That's all a write-off. Now, I go over this stuff with people, but I also talk about the MAP account, money accumulation program, because here's reality, guys. And this is what you got to really make sure your people are careful with. Caroline Wiley, if you're making $60,000 a year at your full-time job, and you're making $30,000 a year part-time with Primerica, and you're living off of $90,000 a year, you ain't never going to quit your job. You got to save your Primerica money. Okay, guys, it's a little easier to quit an $85,000 a year job working at gas stations for 20 years when I already had $200,000 saved. Okay. So you can talk about tax deductions and how the MAP account works. Still to this day, Lisa and I put 30% in our MAP account. That pays for, we fully fund our Roth IRAs. It pays for taxes. We use it for if the refrigerator goes out, instead of spending two grand on a swiping a credit card, we take $2,000 out of that, buy a new fridge. It's an emergency account.
Yeah.
You can talk about ownership. If this clown can get ownership, anybody can get ownership, right? No, Casey and Jennifer Corian, they're in Springfield, Missouri. Springfield, Missouri. They're great friends of mine, and I show this to every single person that I recruit. One of these days, it's going to be a picture of Lisa and I here. You win company trips. These are just, a fraction. Lisa and I have won like 10 trips. We won 5 or 6 trips when we were just part-time in the business. By the way, most of those trips were because a reset happened. Okay. Guess what we're doing now? We're working our tails off because we won the last Hawaii trip and we're going to go win this Hawaii trip too.
Yep.
So all kinds of incredible leaders. This was actually Rusty Crossland came to Bosler's office and we went over there, and this is Bosler handing me $1 million bill saying something like your debt freedom. It was basically when I announced that I was leaving the gas station. So
Awesome.
my freedom
Wow.
date. You can have some fun and have some bonus checks, guys. This is you can get this on Amazon for like $30, and it's just a dry erase check. And it's like a dry erase board. You could just, erase it and stuff. But, show checks. Kyle was a school teacher that works for us. He's a Vandalia, Missouri school teacher. He got a $650 bonus. Talina, $2,200 bonus. She's a stay-at-home mom. You know why she's a stay-at-home mom? She has 6 kids under the age of 14. Her butt better stay at home.
Wow.
Casey Hargett lives 3 doors up from me. He's a police officer. He's protecting. He's serving the community. But he don't get paid enough money. So he came to work here. Got a $3,600 fast start bonus. My daughter, Madison, $1,800 bonus. And our newest, by the way, I don't fill out these checks unless your bonus is at least $500 or more. Caroline just earned it a couple weeks ago, got a $1,350 bonus. And I love going, I only got 2 more slides left. I love talking about this. If you look at financial services industry as a whole, it's always been a male dominant business. Even right now today, if you look at every company across the United States, it's 80% male, 20% female. Glenn Williams actually announced in the Women in Primerica event, it was 57%. Now it's 58% of Primerica agents are female. The darn women are taking over, okay? But that's okay, all right? Board of directors, 50-50. It's the best company for women to work at. Show this to a female, guess what? She just signed her IBA. And then, are you recruiting into the right field? Well, there's $68 trillion out there for grabs in assets. Yep, that's a lot of zeros. Okay. Baby boomers, age 55 to 73 right now. There's 74 million baby boomers. They own half of that 68 trillion. Check this out. There's 665,000, and these are current numbers. I looked this up. 665,000 CPAs right now in the United States. There's 2 million real estate agents, and there's only 5.1 million houses for sale. There's enough houses out there for every agent to sell 2.5 houses.
Wow.
That's probably not a good field to be in. Now, I have two good friends, Michaela and Stacy. They're both real estate agents, and both of them are selling. Stacy's selling 10 houses a month. Michaela's selling 2 or 3 houses a month. They're obviously way above average. That means there's a lot of agents out there ain't selling crap. Okay. There's only 330,000 securities license representatives.
68 trillion.
If we just took what the baby boomers have, 34 trillion, divide that by the 330,000 agents, that's $103 million of AUM each that we all get.
Talk to me. Come on.
Just in managed accounts, Ethan, that pays you $51,000 a month.
Yep.
600 grand a year. That money is up for grabs, folks. If this isn't a good recruiting slide, I don't know what is. This is how you recruit. You got to build them a vision. There is so much money out there. They say money don't grow on trees. Baloney. You just got to find the right trees. Okay, Aaron, that is all I got. Thank you so much for letting me speak.
Hey, Coach Craig, that was unbelievable. I wanna open this up because you inspired a lot of people today. I don't know if you saw the chats, but Ethan, will you share with Coach Craig the chats later?
I'll figure something out, yeah.
Okay, it's gonna be awesome, but you blew everybody away. Let's do some Q&A. Does anybody on here have any questions specific to recruiting? Because
Yeah.
obviously, like, he's a king at building belief in others. And he dropped so much gold today, but guys, ask some questions.
Hey, fire away. Just don't ask any test taking tips, please.
Yeah, you can do that one.
Are we able to pull up what I shared on Telegram yesterday? I want to be able to show it on the screen really quick.
I'm on Wayne's computer. Oh, that can.
Mike can share it from his phone.
Babe, can you share it from your phone?
Telegram.
Yeah. I want to share something that I thought was really awesome, but guys, anybody who wants to get better at recruiting, this is the opportunity, right? This is the opportunity to ask the tough questions or to ask the questions that you have a hard time with, or a question that you've been asked that you have a hard time overcoming. This is that opportunity.
Hey,
Yeah,
Craig,
Oh, excuse me, go ahead.
thank you, Bob. Craig, so as far as recruiting, what are your prospecting methods that you like the most?
What are the what?
Prospecting methods, like how do you prospect for the recruits?
You know that your best recruit is going to come across the kitchen table. Okay, it's gonna be a satisfied client. That's by far your best recruit. But you can put posts out there on Facebook. My wife, she's actually very good at that. She'll join these Facebook groups that are like work from home job site groups, and she'll put posts on there about that. You can get some leads from that. You just got to be careful because you'll get a bunch of unemployed people trying to interview you and interview with you. I love to put out a recruiting post and say something. Hey, I'm looking for 2 to 3 people this month. We're in the financial services industry, guy. And I know everybody's not using $Dollar Smart, but I simply tell them your main aspects are to consult clients through a financial app, take their orders, and fill out applications. A good candidate would be a stay-at-home mom looking for additional income, or somebody that has a full-time job already looking to supplement their income.
Awesome. I wanted to ask the question too, to kind of direct it to Coach Wayne was dropping some fantastic gold last night on who've been some of the best recruits that you just the quality that you go, oh, I love these people. Because it's different aspects.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit around the button there, Craig, about, your quality is going to come through quantity, but I think sometimes we take that out of context when it comes to recruiting. You got to understand, they get to do Primerica. Does that make sense? It doesn't mean we reject, like, I don't, I love your example you showed about, we really don't know. If we had a device or a mechanism that could judge the heart of a man or a woman, that you could actually know exactly this person's going to be a superstar. Heck, I would own that device and I would recruit everybody. Sorry. Okay.
Right.
But what I'm getting at here is the true test really comes down to basic stuff. We just don't want everybody, but we gotta give people the why. That's what we were talking about a lot last night, because the why is the key. We always work so hard on the how to, and we forget the why. There's different reasons why people do what this is here. And you were tugging at me going through those slides, because that's what got me going, back in those days. I didn't know if I could do Primerica. Who knows? But man, I tell you, inside of me, and that's the man or woman that you're looking for. You're looking for someone who ticks like that. And if you surround yourself around the right people, likes attract likes. Now, don't be offended. If you recruit a bunch of crap, then your whole base shop's going to look like crap, okay? Because you're
Right.
attracting likes, attract likes.
Right.
So make sure you understand that a little bit. I mean, I hope I'm giving everybody the right info here. Sometimes people misread me or misunderstand me. I'm not saying don't give everybody the opportunity, but be selective through the masses. That makes sense?
Right.
So I don't know if that was what you wanted, Aaron.
Yeah, no, that's,
Okay.
that's
I
absolutely.
would, man.
That's
I
absolutely.
get fired up.
Absolutely. I mean, what you're saying is get off your knees.
Exactly. Yeah, don't beg.
Don't
I think,
beg.
you know, and your the rope example was perfect, Craig. Absolutely freaking perfect. And because most people are pushing people into it, right? Instead of pull. You got to pull people to Primerica. They're going to gravitate. Who was it that I was talking to last night? Somebody was it? Who was it? Somebody here last night was with me and says, you know, you don't have to work that hard when you have the right recruit.
That's
They
right.
want you.
Yeah.
They can't wait. They won't leave your house. Look what they did last night. I mean, you got the right people.
That's right.
I mean, the losers, sorry to use that abrasive word, but the losers just want to, what time's lunch today? You know what I mean? Like, are you kidding me? My gosh, man, this is your life we're talking about here. You got one shot at it.
Yep.
Sorry, I've taken the floor again. I apologize. Go back. Okay, you rock and roll.
It's so real. It's so real. Mike, Ethan, did that pop up at all?
it won't connect to it.
Okay, so I do want to share something though. Does anybody else have any questions? It's too important.
Bob had one. Bob, you were about to say something.
Well, one of the things, Craig, it was such an outstanding job. And one of the points that you hit so important that I've seen mess so many people up is not saving money. Save money, save money, save money. I've seen people start making money, spend it all, then they get in a jam, then they got to go get a job, and then it just destroys them. And so saving money is so critically important that doesn't go in one ear and out the other, that they save money. Congratulations to you for doing that, and the rest of you, and for being the example that you are. This was outstanding. Your McDonald's Hardee's thing that you came up with is tremendous.
Wow.
One of the questions, and then too, like, one of the reasons you're so good is because it was so hard for you in the beginning. And a lot of people look at that and they stop doing what they know they need to do, even when you did what you need to do, even when you didn't feel like doing it, and you overcame those struggles. And those struggles mean success is guarded by that. And as you work through that, you become great. You become a great teacher. And so many people that are hearing this, if they continue to work, continue to strive, those challenges they have now will be like a gnat on an elephant's rear a year from now because of how they've grown. My question to you is on recruiting. What did you do to grow to where you are now, to have an understanding that you're making the change you're making and how you're training your recruits? You said you've backed off a little bit. Why is that? And what's the value in doing it the way you plan on doing it, or doing it the intentional way you are currently doing it? And how can, what have you done to make that change, and what is that change?
You know, kind of like Wayne said a little bit ago, you got to go through quantity to get your quality. And I just want to pour more into the people that want me to pour into them. I recruited, I think we're at 6 recruits this month, 6 or 7 recruits this month. Now, I only took like 2 of them personal, but I actually did the recruiting for my other teammates. I think I just want to, find more Carol Wileys. Okay. That's exactly what I want to do. I'm just trying to find people with ambitious to get this thing done. She just got licensed. She's already wrote 2 or 3 sales within the last week or 2. And the recruiting will definitely continue. But like Wayne says, I'm really looking for, I'm not recruiting just anybody. I turn people away just as much as I recruit them. And I think that's what you got to do. Okay. You got to look for that person. Guys, if they don't have a market, I mean, you're going to spin your wheels. Okay. You could still recruit them, but you just can't spend a whole lot of time with them. And you got to spend times with those satisfied clients. You got to spend time with the clients that you do, or the recruits that you recruit, and they implement their own life insurance. They do this, they do that. They're coachable. And I just go back and look at myself, and now I actually I went on 18 training appointments, and within my first couple months, and we did 14 out of 18 training appointments. We did 14 life apps.
Wow.
I'm still wondering why I was still a senior rep, but I don't know.
Greg.
That speaks to your credibility.
So, but I don't know if that answered your question or not, Bob, but yeah, it's
You did.
I think you just got to focus on what you focus on happens. I mean, if you focus on recruiting, guess what? You're going to be a great recruiter. If you focus on securities, like Wayne has done for several years, he's a freaking stud at securities. But ultimately, you want to try to focus on all of it at the same time, but also teach others how to do it too. And I would say that that's one thing that I wasn't really good at a lot of these years is I'm a great personal producer. I've always been a great personal producer, but until a couple of years ago, I wasn't really duplicatable. And I think with our systems that we have in place now, it's very, very duplicatable.